toxin-free.
Oh, huge mosquito.
Hi, Austen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Season 10's upon us, premiere day.
How do you feel about season 10 coming up?
I part of me is like, wow, like I can't believe I'm doing like another press day, another press day to promote another season of something that I thought that I was going to be a part of for like 2 years, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fast forward 8 and yeah, here I am talking to you about season 10.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. Well, speaking about crazy, I mean, last season you went through a roller coaster, I feel like.
Yeah.
How did you like mentally prepare yourself coming into this season and just having like starting fresh, I guess?
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about last season was that I thought that last season was gonna be my like, I thought that I was gonna be like I wasn't gonna involve myself with any girls, I wasn't gonna bring any around, I wasn't gonna date a cast member, let's say. I was just gonna put the brakes on that and like focus on me. And then and then that very quickly went away, right? With the revelation of, Taylor and I, that had happened months and months prior to the season filming and everything. So that quickly went out the window. So this season, I was anxious, like, okay, like maybe I can have like a redo of last season and like can kind of come into this in a different sort of approach.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, did you ever think like when you started being on reality TV that you would have your own beer, a podcast, and now soon to be like a restaurant? Like, did you ever think that or?
Yeah, no. It's something that I actually talk with my therapist about, and she tells me to like, take time to, reflect on all the good things that are in my life, right? Because sometimes, you wake up and you're just thinking about all the things that you could be doing better and be doing more of. And when, you sit back and you kind of look at it from the perspective that you just said, right? You're like, wow, things are good. So, no. I mean, I knew that I always wanted to be like an entrepreneur. That's what I went to school for. And it is pretty cool to look over the years and see all these wonderful things that I've been blessed with.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, now that you're going to start a restaurant with Craig, what do you think is going to be harder? Did you think it's harder to start a restaurant with your best friend or to start your own business by yourself?
Yeah, two totally different things and two totally different businesses. Now, I cognizantly wanted to do my beer company, solo, right? And Shep and Craig have both asked in the past, like, hey, like, do you want me to kick in some money? And I'm like, no, like, I want this to be 100% me, and I love doing businesses, with friends, right? It's been so great, promoting the opening of our bar in Charleston because I get to share the brunt of it, with Craig, right? It's like, it's not all like on me. It's not like come to Austin's bar. It's like, come to Austin and Craig's bar. And I really like doing that. So I think that doing the solo business venture is tougher, because, for instance, Craig, like I wasn't available for the Drew Barrymore show, right? And Craig was able to do it, when I wasn't there. So it's not like, oh, Austin, man, you lost us like a big, opportunity for this press thing. It was like, hey, man, Craig can do it and Craig can do it well. And so it's been like, that's very nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, speaking about last season, I mean, you and JT had a little bit of a tiff at the end. What's your relationship like with him now? And how did you guys go into this season? Did you guys start fresh or?
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, a relationship is non-existent. In my opinion, he said unforgivable and horrible things to me last year, repeatedly. And, that's something like, you have to have a relationship with someone first before they can start to dish out any sort of like advice or, that sort of vitriol that was coming from his mouth. Um, so coming into this season though, right? Like I knew that I was going to have to be in like confined spaces with him. And so I was like, I'm going to make the choice to be, the bigger man, metaphorically and literally. And I was like, I'm not, going to show up to every single thing and just be like completely bothered by this dude. So I was like, I will attempt to like come in at like a baseline of like, hey, are we able to like exist in the same so, in the first episode, you kind of see he like tries to extend an olive branch and then that kind of continues further. But I don't really have to deal with him much this season at all because, you know, once you play your cards, you're out. Like that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah. What would be something that you would tell the Austen from the first season about your journey and just kind of be like, this is what's going to happen, but there's a lot of good things at the end?
Yeah. You know what? I think that what you just said is pretty spot on, right? I get all sorts of questions about like, okay, Austen, if you could go back in time, what would you change, right? And weirdly enough, right, it's like, Madison and I went through this like crazy up and down toxic like relationship, but like maybe we had to go through that to be the friends that we are today, right? And like other things that have happened like have me to like exactly where I am right now. And I can tell you like that right now I am like supremely happy and I am in a good place. And yeah, the like what I would say to the first season Austen is like, look, man, just like enjoy the ride. Because we are gonna be all right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, to close it off, can you give us a sneak peek of like a favorite dish coming to by the way, or like a drink or something that you
Yes,
like?
yes, of course. By the way, me and Craig's new restaurant, Craig and I, is opening middle December in downtown Charleston, and we meticulously tasted food and tried drinks. So it's like a cocktail bar without being like a cocktail bar, right? And it's upscale food without being like a full blown, well, it is a restaurant. But so yesterday I went in because we were stress testing the kitchen. And so they were like, okay, man, come in, right? And there's stuff all over the place, liquor bottles and, and training staff over here and hanging pictures over here, right? Because it's in like the final stages. And I had a duck confit sandwich on a baguette bread. And I was just like, this is the type of sandwich that I would come back for like 3 times a week and sit down and have. What I had yesterday was hot honey margarita. Okay. So the reason that I'm highlighting this is because I feel like, especially even bigger companies, right? You say that you have like a hot something, but then you try to like appease the masses. So it's not really hot. This margarita is hot. And I loved it because I was like, yes, like this is what, we're doing. If you order a hot, something, then you want it to be hot. You want it to be
Yeah.
spicy. So our hot honey margarita knocked my socks off. And we're also making, I have to say this because I have to plug Drop Off. We are making a cocktail with my beer where we're taking off, the top,
Mhm.
right? So that it's just like like an open
Yeah,
and
that was
pouring out
like
some beer and pouring in, some liquor and making like a shandy of sorts.
Mhm.
So I'm very excited about that as well. But yeah,
That's awesome. That
yeah,
sounds so exciting. Well, I'll definitely have to check it out if
yeah,
I'm
please
in
do.
Charleston. But thank you so much, Austin. I really appreciate you taking the time and just meeting with me. I am always rooting for you every season. So I really, really am excited to see you for the 10th season of Southern
All
Charm.
right. No, thank you so much, and thank you for all the kind words. I really appreciate it. I hope I hope I don't let you down.
No, no, thank you.